Hello, beloveds. Hello, world. So, this is an unusual video, and I have been wondering if, in fact, I even wanted to dive into this. Because there's so much you can and cannot say. There's no such thing as freedom of speech anymore. So, I'm going to do the best I can because this blew my hat off. If I wore wigs, it blew my wig off. If I wore eyelashes, blow my eyelashes off, right? So one thing, during the retrograde, and it does affect electronics. Well, it got me bad, and I mean bad. So the phone that was attached to this channel just blew up. Well, not literally. They said something about a a motherboard. Gone. Wouldn't turn on, wouldn't do nothing. That was one thing. Then this doggone tablet that we're on, it went retarded too. So I had to calm down from that because at my age, and not having no young folks around to help you with these things. Oh yeah, it had my hot flashes on a frenzy. My nerves just, it was on another level. I couldn't even meditate it away. So with that being said, I wasn't energetically prepared to do any readings. Okay, so now let's get started with this dream I had. And I don't usually dream. Or if I do, I don't remember. Only certain dreams and strong intuitions, when they come through, I start paying attention now. I feel naked. Let me go get mine. Okay, so I've been having problems sleeping for months. So I looked up, what kind of tea, sleepy time tea, and then I snore. I was like, let me concoct me up a tea. So between eucalyptus and the sleepy time, and well, I put in there cloves. So however, I had a gift from somebody. You know who you are. And then it was some moonlight tea and dream tea. I threw all that in there. Baby, huh, the dream that I had. Hmm, let's get started. So I'm trying to figure out the way in which to say it and how much to divulge. So with that being said, pulled out this deck. This deck is like a situational deck. Okay. And the first card that fell out as I'm shuffling and talking to you was Overthrown. Chessboard, even that checkered pattern floor, if you want to do some research, you can see what that's about. There is I don't know, you could say maybe a Mason message. However, there's a reason for the checkered floor. And then I'm looking at overthrown, and then the crown, and the boop, 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 right? It says the grip of the old regime is slipping, and the walls of corruption are crumbling. What was built on lies cannot stand forever. Change is inevitable when the people unite to take back their power. Okay, I just read that, but that's what the dream was about. So we had the election, and everybody's, happy that things are gonna change and da 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 da. Well, some more shenanigans started, and baby, people got pissed. And a lot of people in the dream, a lot of people were truly, truly tripping out because they stood in a long line for so long for it to turn out in another way. And they're like, this is impossible. And so some people just went to clowning. They didn't know what to do. They were so mad. Okay. Then all of a sudden, I don't know who this person was. It was just like a stranger in the crowd. Got up there. Somebody gave him one of them bull horns. And they were like yelling, stop, stop. Why are you tearing up your community? Why are you ruining your cars? And just don't set fires and don't do this and don't do that. And then somebody in the crowd, well, what you expect us to do? Next thing they say, you know what? Whoever you is, I can't see you, but I'm glad you asked. They said, it's time for us to be united because ain't nothing gonna change. They gonna keep doing the same BS. Let me try and keep it clean. Uh, that they've been doing. Yeah. And next thing you know, everybody was chanting, we tired of this shit. We tired of this shit. It was like a song going on. Next thing I know, the whoever the guy was, I don't remember everything he said, but parts of what he said resonated with so many people that the next work day, they damn near did it all over the world. It started where we are because everybody looked like, they were in America. Did nobody go to work? They said we ain't getting ready to do nothing. And so the guy that had the bullhorn, he started explaining or like listing what you needed to do to be united. Okay. And he said, don't start taking from each other. Y'all come together. For those of you who are already ahead of the game and you done planted your food and boop, 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 and you done start catching rainwater, whatever, whatever, whatever. So some people are already prepared. And then, I'll say this. The person that had the bullhorn was a person that joined a community where they living off the grid because they said they don't have to deal with this. So it's almost like they brought off the grid army to help cityfied folks. Don't know nothing about planting nothing. Don't know nothing about herbs. Nothing. So they strategically start sending them out in certain communities, showing them, how to come together and how y'all gonna survive until things change. What struck me was because it was like I didn't know what was going on. I got up and headed to the store. Oh, no store open. Well, no gas station open. I said, what the hell going on in the world? I haven't been watching the news because I really don't watch much of the news. So, a couple of other people was at the store too. People that believed in the system, and somebody that came to check to see if the store was open. They the one told us and put us up on the tee. What is going on? Yeah. And so we just looked at each other and We got to talking. Next thing you know, everybody was friendly. Everybody was friendly. So wherever you lived, everybody just came together. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So I said, you know what? Let me do a reading on this dream here. So the first card was overthrown. Overthrown. The second card is weather modifications. Well, that does bring me to the streaks in the sky, but also the cloudiness stuff that's moving all over everywhere. You read between the lines of what I'm talking about, because I'm sure wherever you are, you didn't, look a little foggy, smell a little burnt. So the atmosphere is no longer solely nature's realm. Advances in climate engineering give select hands to the powers to change what falls from the sky. The question is, should they? Hmm. Well, I could see that's another thing people are tired of and not getting adequate answers. Affecting people's health, their mood, and it's a lot of ADHD, and things like that going on with these babies. Strange. Strange. That's all I can say about that. Frequency harvesting. Let's see what this reads about. Frequency harvesting. Now, what just came to my mind on frequency is between the stuff that crisscross the sky, and more times than many, you can check it. It rains the next day. Bring it on down so you can sniff it and get on your skin and all this here, that, and the other. So within this frequency harvesting, it says fear, anger, despair generate an energy that functions like currency. Fear, anger, and despair generate an energy. You know, energy is fluid, it moves like water and air. So, that fear, that anger, and that despair that generate a certain type of energy that functions like currency, currency, current, water current, money moves from hand to hand. Some systems and entities survive by keeping you in the state that produces it. Okay, well, that does another clarification of why the next day nobody went to work. A couple people showed up because they didn't know what was going on. Food insecurity. That was another thing in there. People scared to eat. It's like everybody became a vegetarian, or what you call the people that don't eat nothing but vegetables, vegan, whatever. That was another thing they got upset about. The form, the type, the authenticity of what we consume. That was another issue. They wasn't even looting the stores. People was like, I don't want nothing out of there. I don't even know if I want the water. hmm So people were like on a fast that came out of nowhere. The easiest way to destabilize a region is to destabilize its food supply, limiting access to food forces, dependency, and compliance becomes a survival strategy. And that's what people were doing. They were on strictly survival mode. But I ain't never seen so many unified people in all my life. And the ones that wasn't trying to get unified, we don't need that. Mm-mm. You better buy some tomatoes. You done went and bought all them doggone bullets. You better buy some tomatoes. We're not having that. It was almost like regular people took over. Mm-hmm. Yep. Got rid of them potential scammers. Whoa. Controlled oppositions. Be aware of those who appear to be fighting for change, but are secretly controlled by the very powers they oppose. The voices of controlled opposition aim to divert true revolution and maintain the status quo. That was part. That was the reason why everybody said, you know what? I done had enough. I ain't getting ready to clown and act no fool, but this is what we getting ready to do. Oh, and the only cars that was moving, it was an old Toyota. All of them was old cars. All the new ones with the bells and the whistles and the push button and the remote, they didn't move. All of them shut down. Did shut down. People was on bikes and walking. Because it came to a new reality. Wow. Wow. The old structures are crumbling. Oh, that's right up under overthrown. And the new possibilities are emerging. You are a co-creator of the future. Focus your energy on the world you wish to create, not the one you are leaving behind. Oh, and these folks got together and they created a new world. All right. Mm-hmm. Covert technology clarifying weather modification. This advancement could solve a crisis overnight, yet it is being withheld from public knowledge. Ask why. And who gains by keeping it in the shadows? Well, people got tired of being controlled and manipulated like puppets playing a fiddle. Financial crisis, frequency harvesting. And within the financial crisis, it does bring fear to people. Okay. Uh, be it Bitcoin, stock market, stuff like that. You know, it's almost like people had no choice but to unify. Because it's like, ain't no sense in us arguing with each other. We all in this together. We're all in this together. The global financial system teeters on the edge of collapse. Wealth and stability are shifting, but real value is found not in money, but in your connections, skills, and inner resources. Oh, and that was what's going on. This what happened. This what happened. However, they did handle them folks that was starting these fires and doing all that kind of stuff. Oh, the unified people. Oh, they handled that. No, we ain't doing that. We ain't acting no damn fool. Okay. The playbook is simple. Inflame differences, push outrage, and let the people tear themselves apart while new systems slide into place. That's what they were saying. We ain't getting ready to do that. Because they ain't going to do nothing but come down here and bomb us and tear gas us and all this, that, and the other. We're getting ready to do this quietly. Everybody going to stay at home and y'all figure out how to grow y'all food and harvest y'all food. And then he went and found old folks uh, to learn how to do some canning. But everybody came together. Whatever you didn't have, you went to somebody and they had it. Whatever you had and they needed, they did. They. It was barter and exchange. Controlled opposition is clarified by false religion. Uh-oh, I got to get off of here. When power replaces devotion, faith becomes a tool for control. Be aware of those who use the language of divine to serve worldly agendas. I'm going to leave that right there. Okay. All right. So, like I said, this ain't for everybody. Ain't no love up in here or none of that. This was just a dream. Okay. All right. Leave any comments. I'd be interested to hear. All right. Until next time, be well.